Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today's video, as usual, is going to be my weekly watches, which you get on a Sunday, and you might actually get it at 12 o'clock this week, which is good. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, your preferred hot drink, and we'll get cracking. Try and keep it nice and short this week. I think it's 9 titles I watched this week. I'm pretty sure 9. Starting off with one that I really wanted to like, but on paper it's just not for me. But it's one that I'm going to keep in the collection, and that's Spartacus. Kirk Douglas, obviously playing Spartacus, Laurence Olivier, Gene Simmons, Charles Laughton, Peter Ustinov, John Gavin, and Tony Curtis. Obviously, this is a Stanley Kubrick film, probably his most conventional film that he's done. I'm not a huge fan of biblical epics at all. I lose interest quite quickly in those sorts of films. I can't follow all the characters' names because there's usually a lot of names, lots of different characters, and they've all got really weird names, oldie names, I should say, and I can't keep up with them all. The story on itself, it's a decent story. Like I said, I'm not going to get rid of it. Definitely not going to get rid of it, because who knows, years in the future, I might enjoy it more. But sorry, Stuart, I know you recommended this one to me. Just didn't get on with it. Just wasn't a fan, I suppose. Probably my least favourite Kubrick film, I would say, that I've seen. But yeah, I'm willing to give it another watch in the future. So yeah, that's Spartacus. Next up, continuing my coming of age comedy drama kick, which I was watching the prior week, quite a few of. Got this one which I ordered and I watched the DVD. I think I briefly spoke about it on the stream last week along with Spartacus. Sorry, my hair won't stay in place. And that is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, which came out in 2015. It's based on a book, I believe, about a high school kid who his parents basically tell him he's got to go and be friends, be social with this girl who's got leukemia, played by Olivia Cooke. You've got her mum, played by Molly Shannon, and to go over, he's kind of just doing it out of pity and because his parents have told him to, and he don't want to cause any problems at home. But the more he goes there, they actually do form a real friendship, and it's a really heartwarming tale, heartbreaking as well, really sad. Yeah, really worth watching. Nick Offerman and Connie Britton play his parents. You've got R.G. Seiler, who is his best friend, Earl, or who he calls his co-worker, and obviously his name's Greg. His character's name is what's his name? Thomas Mann. John Bernthal plays his history teacher. He's got a nice small performance in this. Yeah, it's a really nice, easy watch. An hour and a half. Definitely worth the watch. That is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Next up was a rewatch for me last Tuesday, because I think this is when it came. I saw this one at the cinema, had a lot of fun with it at the cinema, got it on Amazon Germany on Blu-ray, hadn't watched it since, so I thought I'd chuck it on because it's an hour and a half. I think it may have been just before something. I was doing something and I thought, oh, I've got enough time to watch this. So I stuck it on, and that's Stuber with Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista. Basically, it follows this cop who can't drive at the moment. He's temporarily blind because he's had laser surgery done to his eyes. So he enlists the help of Uber driver played by Kumail Nanjiani called Stu, hence the title Stuber, which is Boss calls him. And basically, it's a road film, sort of. He's basically caught up in Dave Bautista's crap. He's searching for like a drug dealer or guns dealer, something like that. It's them on the road, they banter with each other. It's very funny. It's got some very funny bits in this. I've got a bit with the dog on the back, which you'll probably see. And yeah, if you've not seen it and you like your American comedy, Sam, this might be one for you. It's worth watching. It's funny, hour and a half. easy watching. I got this, as I said, from Amazon Germany for just under a fiver, I think, which I was very happy with. So yeah, that's obviously a spoiler for upcoming pickups, because that will be featured in the upcoming pickups and deliveries, along with another one in here. But yeah, Stuber, recommend that one. And then I won't go over this one too much because this was the watch pile pick of the week, which really surprised me, and that's Wolf from 2021. Paddy Considine, George McKay, Lily Rose Depp, Eileen Walsh. And it wasn't the one, I did find out it wasn't the one Stuart thought he was looking at, obviously, just because the spine you can't really tell. He thought it was the Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer one, the Mike Nichols directed film. I think it was about 92 that one came out, which I haven't got, but it's one I'd like to get in the collection because they're both favourite actors of mine. But still very happy that you accidentally chose this one because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Really interesting story, an interesting watch. Paddy Considine is always great to see, and this isn't the last time I watched a film of his this week. But yeah, interesting watch, good British film. Yeah, one that I can definitely recommend to you if you've not seen it. And a lot of people who commented on my watch pile video said they'd never even heard of it. It was one that I remember watching the trailer for back when it came out in the cinema, and then it disappeared. And then about a year later, I was just looking at new-ish films that were cheap on Blu-ray, and this was one that came up. I bought loads. There's still loads to watch. I think I got Mother and Sunday. What was the other one that I got? The Electrical Life of Louis Wain, which is Benedict Cumberbatch. The Nest. Loads of newer British films from the last few years, and I've still not watched them yet, so it's still in the pile. But I'm glad I got round to that one because, as I said, really enjoyed that. Coffee break. And next up, obviously last week we sadly lost the great Val Kilmer, and it was fortunate that the week before, obviously, I watched Tombstone for the first time, which I'd say is his best performance outside of playing Jim Morrison in The Doors, which was that's a fantastic Oliver Stone biopic. If you've not seen it, I need to give that one another watch again. But Tim, I think this may have been before Val Kilmer passed away. He chose this one. It might have been after. I can't actually remember, to be honest with you. But he did this as sort of a payback for not getting on with some of Roy's recommendations over the last few weeks. And tell you what, I actually really enjoyed this. I took it for what it was. And yeah, and that's Batman Forever, 95. Obviously, Val Kilmer as Batman, Chris O'Donnell as Robin. You've got Jim Carrey as the Riddler, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. You've got Nicole Kidman as Chase Meriden, who's like a psychologist, something like that. And it's wacky, it's weird. The only characters that obviously return from the previous films is Michael Gough as Alfred. What did his name go out, man? And Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. They're the only two, like, keeping it in continuity, because this is a very different film. Joel Schumacher took the franchise in a very different way. It's a lot more wacky. It's not as dark. Goes more on the comedy. The only thing I didn't like about this film is the CGI in parts going through Gotham City was very, very bad. Like, noticeably terrible. Some of the worst CGI I've seen. But the film itself I really enjoyed. Really liked the story. Really liked Val Kilmer as Batman and Bruce Wayne. I thought he did a good balance of both of them. Obviously, always great to see Nicole Kidman, especially back this 95. She was, she still looks great, but you know what I mean. Yeah, really good Batman film. I know I've got Batman and Robin to watch now, which people say is awful, but I'm going to go into it the same mindset I had as this. And I know I'm still going to have a bit of fun. I know it's not going to be a good Batman film, but I still think it will be entertaining. So yeah, but glad I watched Batman Forever. Next up, I watched, I can't remember who recommended this one or who chose this one last week, but it's one I'd had pulled out anyway because it stars the late great Gene Hackman, and I'm trying to watch all of the films in my collection that I've not seen of his, of which I've not got too many. I did pick up one in the charity shop the other day. Behind Enemy Lines, also starring Owen Wilson. About a Navy pilot that's shot down over Bosnia, And his commanding officer, played by Gene Hackman, is basically risking everything to bring him home to get a rescue mission out, because the I don't know if are they Bosnian troops or Czech troops, basically an army that is trying to track him down and kill him because he's American, obviously, and he's taken pictures of them committing war crimes, which will obviously damage them. So he's got to try and get behind enemy lines to safety to get rescued. And really good action film, got a bit of heart to it. Great performances from both Owen Wilson and Gene Hackman. Really weird seeing Owen Wilson in like an action film, because obviously you normally associate him with comedy. The only other film that I've seen close to this is No Escape with Pierce Brosnan as well, when they're it's a family. I can't remember where it's set, but stuff happens. It's an action film. Yeah, but this yeah, worth the watch. I will watch it again, staying in the collection. So yeah, that's Behind Enemy Lines. We did well this week, because I will spoil before we get to the end. I'm keeping everything that I watched this week. Although obviously, as I said, the only one I didn't get on with is Spartacus. But what the highlight of the week for me so far, or out of everything, would probably be Wolf. Really surprised me, and we got 3 more to go. I just put this as a highlight as well because I didn't know too much about this. It was because it's got Paddy Considine in. I bought it last week, and I thought I'd watch it because it looked like a good watch, and it was. And that's a film called How to Build a Girl. Excuse me. Set in Wolverhampton in the early 90s. Follows a 16-year-old girl played by Beanie Feldstein, who you probably would know the most from Lady Bird. She played Lady Bird's best friend, and she was one of the leads in Booksmart. Also, trivia, might not know this, she is Jonah Hill's younger sister. I think there's about 10 years between them. But yeah, the only thing that I didn't love about this film is her accent wasn't really. It was a British accent, but it was all over the place. It wasn't a great accent because obviously she's American. So the only thing I would say, either she worked on the accent more, or she wasn't cast in this film, because you've got to have the accent bang on like everyone else in this film. And if you don't have that, it kind of can take you out a bit, which it didn't too much. But she, as I said, she's a 16-year-old girl that wants to be, she has big dreams, she wants to be a big music journalist. And she creates this persona, as you can kind of see, she dresses up and she calls herself Dolly Wilde, and she actually gets a bit of success writing for this music company, journalism. And Paddy Considine plays her dad. You've got Sarah Soleimani, who you might know from the Bridget Jones films, plays her mum. Alfie Allen, Lily Allen's brother, Keith Allen's son, who you probably know from John Wick. He was in John Wick, played the villain in John Wick. He's like her sort of love interest. He's like a mute pop rock group singer, lead singer, whatever. Emma Thompson's got a very small role at the end in this, like one scene and that's it. Chris O'Dowd again, one scene towards the start and that's it. And a lot of other cameos in this from a lot of famous British comedians, which you'll see. Lily Allen actually does have a cameo in this, funnily enough. Didn't put the two together until just now, don't know why. But yeah, one that I really enjoyed. If you like coming of age films, great British film as well. Got that spirit of the 90s. Paddy Considine's always great. Funny as well, and yeah, worth watching if you're interested in these sorts of films. I've managed to grab this for about £3 on Music Magpie, I think. Can only get it on DVD, but I think it might also be available on Prime. So check there as well if you don't want to buy the physical copy but are interested. But yeah, that's How to Build a Girl. And then the two I watched last night, which were two again recommended, or voted for, I should say, in the watch pile last week. First up, a Sidney Lumet film, and Roy. You'll be pleased to know I really enjoyed this one. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Great performances in this. You got Ethan Hawke, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Marissa Tomei, Albert Finney, and it was also really great, even though she's not in it very much, to see Rosemary Harris. Obviously, you got two Aunt Mays in this, Marissa Tomei and Rosemary Harris, which is obviously before Marisa Tomei was Aunt May. This came out in 2007 and was Sidney Lumet's final film that he directed. But yeah, Rosemary Harris, I can only say I've seen her in obviously the Spider-Man films, and she was in the Michael Caine film, which she did after this, called Is Anybody There? Set in an old, like a retirement home, I think. That was really good as well. And she plays like kind of the matriarch of this family in this, but she's, as I said, she hasn't got a huge role in the film, and you'll know why if you watch it. Albert Finney is ferocious in this. He's really, especially the second half, he really picks up. Philip Seymour Hoffman, always great to see. Marisa Tomei, Ethan Hawke, great. It's like a family drama thriller, but imagine Sidney Lumet doing that. Yeah, it's hard to explain it. It's in non-linear, so it's not obviously told. It's all mishmash. The story kind of comes together throughout, which I really liked the way they did that. All centered around this jewelry store robbery, and these two brothers and their relationship with each other and their parents, and yeah, really good like crime thriller drama. And as far as Sidney Lumet's final film, really good. He could have had a doozy, but I think this one was really good. I think he passed away in about 2011, so a few years after this one came out. But as far as final films go, really strong one, really good performances, and one that I definitely recommend checking out. So there we go, Roy. We have a success at last. I think you chose Flowers of War next week, which is Zhang Yimou, who I think did he do Hero, which I really like with Jet Li. But it's got Christian Bale in, and it's a World War II film set in Japan, so that ticks a few boxes for me, so I hope I enjoy that one. But yeah, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, really enjoyed that. And then this one, I apologise, I can't remember who chose this, because it's been a while since I recorded my Watch Pile video, but it's one that I just fancied watching afterwards. I thought I can do another film, and it's not too long, so I chose All Is Lost, Robert Redford, the only person in this film. But his performance in this, even though there's only, I think, 51 words of dialogue in this, is excellent. He won a few awards for his performances in this as well. And yeah, it's basically about a man, obviously an elderly man, who's on like a sailing boat, a yacht, I suppose you would say. Stuff's going wrong for him, so it's kind of his battle for survival against the elements. His yacht becomes destroyed. So I'm not going to go any further than that as to what happens after that, but he's got to try and survive. It's a tale of survival, really well directed, really well acted by Robert Redford, really good film. Love these sorts of films. Got lots of, a bit of elements of like Life of Pi, that sort of thing, which came out around the same time. The Perfect Storm, that sort of thing. If you like those sorts of films, give this one a watch. Really good, considering there's only the one person in it. Terrific actor though, obviously, Robert Redford. So yeah, that is All Is Lost. And that is everything that I watched in the last week. Have you seen any of those? Let me know what your thoughts of them are down below in the comments. There's still a few I've got to watch from last week that were chosen. I still got to watch Tron Legacy, which I think I will watch later today. And I've still got to watch The Car, which Tony chose the week before in the watch pile. Still got to get around to that. We've had quite a few chosen for this week's watch pile that are quite interesting. I'm looking at, I think I'll be interested in them all so far. So if you've not picked what you want me to watch, or review rather, in this week's watch pile, go back to that video, have a look at what's on the shelf, and let me know, and I can pull it out. I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far that have been pulled out. So yeah, still time to choose if you haven't already. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment, because I really do appreciate it. And that is it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.